What is going on, guys? It is Jay from Six Traders, and I want to take you along on my trading journey today. So this is the first video I've ever posted, and I'm looking at probably posting some more, but let's see how this one goes first. So I'm gonna meet up with you guys back at the end of the video, but literally all I'm doing is trading Australian versus US, and I cut the videos, so there's actually 3 videos in one, and it's just because I didn't want to bore everybody with like an 8-hour trading day and just post it. So I just started recording, and I just kind of split things up, and I explained kind of what I'm doing and kind of some of the reasoning behind the trade itself, and then I'm gonna splice it together and we'll see. This is my first video, guys, so let's just see how this goes, and let's see it in the trade. See you all there.
So right now what we're looking at is right now we're looking at AUD. So this is a trade that I'm looking at taking. Right now this chart's a bit of a mess, but so I have the daily open and I have the hourly open. So what we're looking at actually, so if you look on the hourly, this line right here at 70.30 is actually the bottom of this wick on the daily. So this is the daily chart over here, and this wick right here at the bottom, which this is crashing into right now. It looks like we're gonna get our sells are gonna get triggered here, but it's the bottom of the wicks here, so we're hoping that this comes crashing into these wicks and then gets rejected from this wick. So let's see if this is going to happen. It's testing S1 here, which kind of is right where we're looking. Right where we're looking to get short. So we already took a trade today. Today's trade we took was right off this trend line here, the daily trend line, which if I zoom out, you can see where I drew it from. So I drew the daily trend line off of these connecting candles, and when I draw trend lines, I know you'll look right here and you'll see. I'm gonna actually just add one in. Hold on, I'm gonna add a quick sell real quick. I don't want 50 though. Put 25 in. Put a quarter lot in, just in case it rejects early. I don't think it's going to, but let's just throw this in. Oh, I already got one initiated anyways. Okay, so yeah, so when I drew my trend lines here on the daily, I'm gonna make this larger for a second. So let me just explain what I did here. So the reason why I drew this trend line was, yes, I look to connect with the wicks, but see, if you look here, it's hitting this wick, all these wicks, and then it hits this wick as well. So when it came down here, it hits this wick here on the downside. So there was a little rejection off the same trend line. And if you're looking, you might ask me, well, here it went through the body. How can you go through a body there and everywhere else the wicks? So when I draw trend lines, and this is just me personally, but when I draw trend lines, I try to connect it with most of the wicks because that's where the rejections are on that time frame. But I'm okay with this because what this is, and even if it happened here a second time, what it is one candle, even if it's not wick but it's body, goes through it. The next candle drove it straight back down. So to me, that's still a rejection. It's still a big rejection. And it doesn't have to be a wick on this one. So if this candle closed and then immediately the next candle closed back below, to me it's just, on a higher time frame, it's going to be a wick. So it's okay to be, I use that still. Now if this second candle closed above and then one came back down, then it's a different story. But if the second candle directly after the first candle that broke comes right back in, to me it's just a false break. And then I count those, I kind of discount those actually, and I don't mind if my trend line goes through those. Again, that's just the way that I set up my trend lines. So anyways, yeah, this is the exact same trend line, and actually I'll actually pull it right there because it actually touched the bottom. It actually, if I zoom in here, I can't zoom any further, but right here where my cursor is, it actually, this wick, bottom wick is touching it, and then this one here, it came back. So I mean, it doesn't really matter whether I do it there or I bring it down because I want it to touch this wick as well, which doesn't matter. Whatever makes sense to people. It's anyway, you're gonna get the same result. But anyways, yeah. So that's why I drew the trend line and actually took a trade off of this trend line, and actually I took it 2 days ago. I got into the trade. So actually 3 days ago I first got into it. So I got in over here on the retest of the trend line, and it also like obviously the support and resistance right here, but it was support, resistance, and a strong trend line. So I started to get short here, and then I just peppered in all the way up, and then the next day here I got in more. So I got in about 1.5 lots. And then what happened was I actually went into profit all the way down here. Now, I could have taken the profit. But for me, I'm looking for it to break this zone right here. So I actually held it, came back, and then I actually I was actually down a bit. So when it came back up here, I was down a bit. But then I didn't close out. Obviously, I wanted to wait for the day because I'm trading the daily chart. So even if you're shitting bricks and you know the 4-hourly candles are looking crazy, you can't pay attention to that because you're trading the daily. So you kind of have to wait for the daily to close. So I figured it was going to come back in, and it did end up, and it formed a doji. And that's at that point I'm getting really comfortable because it's forming a doji. So I'm thinking that this trade is obviously just looking better and better. Then after that, the following day, it gapped down slightly, but still it gapped down, and it ended up going back up and then retesting, which I was fine with. But now you have to look at this as twice now that I've gone into negative, right? So I went down positive, I was up a couple $100, and then came back, and now I'm looking at twice now. I'm looking at negatives, and you have to be comfortable with that. Like that's a part of trading. You can't look at it like you've actually lost that money. You haven't lost anything until you close the trade, and you haven't gained anything until you closed it either. So now that I've gone, it came and we retested this again, and it was a sharp rejection. Pushed all the way down, and I actually took profit down here. So I took profit somewhere down here. I could open this, but it's my live account. I don't want to show anything. So I took profit somewhere down here. It wasn't right at the tip, obviously, but after when it pushed past this bottom support zone, I sold it. And the main reason I sold it is because I wanted to get back in on a retest of this wick. So I ended up selling, and now that's what I've been waiting for, and it's actually doing that right now. So let's take a look. And yeah, it's testing the bottom of that wick, and it may not actually go right ahead because other people may be doing the same thing and selling this right now. So I got a half lot in right now. You know, I'm selling all the way up to these wicks here. So I got majority of mine here because I'm hoping that it rejects right here, and if it doesn't, it comes back up. But you know, you have to be willing to sell all the way to at least here. So yeah, that's what I got set in right now, and I got my pivot points. So we're looking good right now. You know, it rejected this pivot point pretty hard. And actually, this candle actually went to R1. This candle was actually freaky to trade because there's such a huge swing. This looks like one big downward candle. This is an hour, and this was huge swings. It was going back and forth, back and forth. The volatility just spiked. So it was going crazy, and it was kind of yeah, a bit nerve-wracking at the time. I mean, I was okay with it, obviously, but when you're seeing all that volatility, especially on something like Aussie dollar, which isn't very volatile at all for the most part, but it does have these spikes out of nowhere. It was just just kind of cool and crazy to see. So anyways, we ended up getting out of here, and yeah, as you can see, it rejected this support line. So all I did was the same support line down here. I just threw that on my chart over here as well on the hourly. I just wanted to watch it, using daily support, and you can see that it rejected a couple times, but it kept trying to break in. And once I saw that it was doing that, that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to set up some limits here, which are on the bottom of this wick up here. And then, yeah, I put another line as to where the bottom of that wick is. And then, yeah, we're just waiting here. It came crashing in now. And we're just waiting. We're going to, see if this will come in and pick us up. Still got another half an hour or so for this candle to finish. So it still could come and pick us up. We just want to see a strong rejection once it does get to here. So we'll see how this goes. And I'll catch up with you guys in about half an hour.
A few moments later.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I actually just messed up pretty bad. So I came on and I wanted to start recording at 8:30, and I was. So I was actually recording this around 8:30, and I realized that I did not have my phantom power switched on for my mic. So yeah, I was talking to myself for about half an hour, and I was doing so well too. Like I was filling in all of the monotonous moments with just comments about the Toronto Raptors, and yeah, that's all gone. That's all gone. Okay, so let's just get into the trade right now. So yeah, so we ended off the last video back here last night, and so what had happened was, okay, so I'm going to start off anyways. So the first, like I was saying yesterday, I got into the trade, and this is the daily. So I got into the trade about 3 days ago. So I got in, this is today, not yesterday, the day before, right here. So 3 days ago, not including today. I got in the trade, and so we were coming down to this trend line and this resistance right here, previous support. And so I started to short here, took some heat, and then actually went into profit. Didn't take profit because my take profit was I was looking to get back to at least here, or depending on if it broke. It just would depend on how it's my target was here, but depending on how volatile the market was, I think it was like 3/4 of my position to take profit, and the rest I was going to let run. So anyways, yeah, went back into negative, like fairly negative, not that much, but on the third day, I did, like I said, I went into, I was like slightly negative, not very much, but and then I went into profit. But this huge spike is here. So when we broke this support level, which is just this support level transposed right here, I just added it to the hourly. I got the half hour because I was watching half hour, but yeah, when we came here, it was super volatile, so it started swinging. So I actually moved my take profits, and I moved them far down. I didn't have time to clear them out, so I moved them down just because it was super volatile. So there was a good chance that it could snap right through. And then it broke through, which was a good sign. But then it started to, it was the buyers were stepping in huge. It was crazy swings. I know it looks like a straight shot with the hourly candle, but it wasn't. So once it started to push back up, I was looking to get back out somewhere down here, and it didn't push back up over here, but it was pushing back up to the support. So I ended up getting out somewhere here. I didn't get out at the bottom, obviously, but somewhere around here. Actually, I should check my account history. I don't want to. This is my live account, so I don't want to put any account information up. I don't want anyone to be able to get my account numbers. So anyways, I closed out here, and my whole thought process behind this was, okay, we're hitting support. I'm going to close out here because it was super volatile, so it still could just shoot through. And there was still another, like, I don't know, 10 minutes left or 15 minutes left in the candle. So there was a good possibility that it could still shoot through, but there's still a possibility that the buyers could step back in and even drive it back up to here. So I ended up closing out, and my whole mind state was, okay, I'm going to close this out. If it does drive through, and so I'm going back over to show it on the daily. So this was it here. If it drives through and we end up even passing this point and it just goes, what I'm going to do is suck it up. You missed this profit. That's fine. Who cares? Profit's profit. You still made money, right? So close it out. And what I was going to do is wait for it to come back and get it on a retest and then sell it again. So after I closed it out, it was battling back and forth, ended up closing here, which is below the support line, which is now resistance, which is good, but I'm out now. So now what I'm looking to do is my next entry, and I'm looking at wicks. So where I found my next entry was looking at the doji up here. So looking at this doji, see the bottom of this wick on this doji? Am I zoomed in? Yeah, I'm zoomed in all the way. This doji right here. So this wick I want to sell. So that's when I peppered in all these limits right before this. This is the bottom of the wick, by the way. This is the hourly and that's the daily. So all this back and forth. This is the bottom of that wick. So yeah, I peppered in all these orders here, and then I just waited, and that's what you guys were watching. So yet last night you were watching when the orders were starting to get hit, and I think I added one in manually, and then one limit got picked up by the market. When we got off the video, I actually ended up putting a third one in manually at market, and then throughout the night when I went to sleep, a fourth one was triggered. So I'm in for a full lot right now, but a fourth one was triggered, and I missed out on a half lot. So there's two orders that are above, just in case it spiked through. And I do have my alert here. I got my alert here, by the way, but the alert never got triggered either. And yeah, so this is the trade now, and I wanted to come back at 8:30, which was this candle here, which it was, I got back on before it broke through. So it was kind of, I was talking us through as it was breaking, which would have been cool for a video, but I wasn't recording the audio, so that didn't work too well. So yeah, so this is where we are now. And the good thing here is we made a lower low. We made a lower low on, so this daily candle, this right here, this is the bottom of this wick over here. So we made a lower low, which is a good sign. I placed my take profit. Oh, okay, so I did talk about my take profit. See this? Okay, so I spoke about this in the video that I didn't fully record the audio. So Yeah, once we break down here, there's no clear place for a take profit, right? So there's no clear target. And what I mean by that is, if you look, I zoom out, this is the daily here, right? So this is like November, October. The only time that we really got this low was the flash crash, when we had that flash crash in the Forex, which is a black swan. Like, that's, you can't base your targets on this. This is insane. You're not going to go, okay, I'm going to put my take profit down here. That's ridiculous. So this kind of just, you just take this as a one-off, and it doesn't exist. It's not on the chart. Well, not that it doesn't exist, but for this purpose, you know, it's nowhere. This is not what you're looking at. So I know this is kind of ridiculous, but so what I ended up doing was going back, and I had to go back to 2015 before there was any other serious price action that went below this point, which is over here. So I just took this, which is the next nearest support, and I brought it over. Now that is super far away. It's very far away, so it's not to say that this is even a great support zone to be watching, because this is not very recent for your take profit. But it's just, you have to base it on something. You can't just, well, I'll just figure out when it looks like the market wants to close and I'll get out. So yeah, so you got to base it on something. You have to go in with some kind of plan. So right now my take profit and my target is right here. I could actually use this bottom wick as a take profit. You know, what I could do is I could put like 3 quarters, so I can do 3 of my orders. I'll take profits right here, and then just have another 4th one just to let it run, and just put a trailing stop on it. I could do that. I have my take profit right here. I have this. This is that support zone from the previous 2015. I know, crazy. And then I have my pivot points up right now too, so it kind of is in line with the S2, which isn't bad on the daily. And we see that we're hitting S3 on the hourly, which is not a bad take profit either. But I mean, let's see where we're at right now. So we're at about $200 right now. Yeah, we're at, I don't know if I should be showing this either. I don't know if there's a, I have to look into it, talk to my broker too, and see what you should be posting from your live account, because I don't want someone to be able to get into my my live account, obviously. So yeah, I'm going to so what I'm going to do is, I guess I'll stop the video here, and then I'll come back a little later on and let you guys know what happened, good or bad. I mean, the good thing is we're in profit. We're not going to go either way. This is closing in profit, which is a good thing. So we don't have to worry about that. This isn't a losing trade. But yeah, we'll see if we get anywhere near the target, or I may move the target to the bottom of this wick, because I do think that this is on the daily, it's going to close below, but it may come down and then come back up here and close somewhere, close somewhere else below. I don't know, we'll have to see. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here, and yeah, I'll follow up with you guys in a bit. Take it easy.
One eternity later.
All right, guys. So it's been a few hours, and it's 12:30 now. I actually ended up closing out my trade. I closed it out on, I believe it was the second candle, this candle here. And I closed it out before this pivot point. So actually, I didn't get the best price. I closed it out around here. I think it was like $200. So I closed it out for like $200. I think that's probably around where the same spot where we left it last. So yeah, I'm just looking to see, maybe I got some orders in right here, small. I don't have a lot of, actually I'm going to close this one out here. I have some small orders in here that if it does come back, I'll look to grab a bit just on a retest here. But yeah, we still got a couple more hours in the day for the daily candle to close, but it looks like the daily candle is going to close below this support line. So it's looking good for a short, but there are buyers stepping in here at the round handle, the 70 cent mark. So we'll see how it works. Honestly, it's either way right now. It could just have another leg down, or it could come back retest. We'll see what happens. Right now, like I said, I got some orders in here if it does come back for a retest. We'll see. I'm gonna just watch this and we'll see. But I just wanted to give you guys an update. So I have closed out. I'm no longer in the trade, and I'm not actively looking to trade this. I'm looking to actively looking to get into a trade right this second. I'm looking to see if this does retest, I'll pick up a few orders. But ultimately, I'm looking to see where this closes on the daily. So yeah, this is where we're at right now. I feel like this should close down here on the daily, and then maybe tomorrow it does another retest of that support, and then just sells off. Best case scenario. Anyways, right now I have to take my dogs to go get some haircuts, so another reason why I'm closing out. But I will be back with another video soon. Alright guys, take it easy.
Alright guys, so that was the video for today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Also ask questions if you want me to answer your questions. So really right now what I'm trading is Australian dollar versus USD, as well as the S&P. Those are the only two real Forex or futures pairs that I'm trading currently at the moment. I also do trade some stocks and some options, but mainly I'm focusing on Forex right now. So I'm looking to possibly post more of these videos coming up. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video actually with some funny bloopers and some frustration clips for sure. And that's first video frustration clips. So see you guys soon. What is going on? Alright guys, so that was the video. Now, alright guys, so that was the, fuck that, I don't want to look like that. 50 seconds, retake. 1 minute and 5 seconds. Alright guys, so that was the video for today. Fuck that. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Let me know what you get. 1 minute and 40 seconds. Alright guys, so that was the video. Fuck it, bro. What is that shit? What the fuck did I just witness?